Hi parents and dancers, I wanted to put together a tutorial for you all so that you had a basic guide on what to do for stage makeup for your little ones. So I'm going to do a hair tutorial in a separate video. This is just going to be a makeup tutorial. I'm going to show you a few different products that I like to use. You don't have to use these products, you can use whatever you want obviously, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what looks good on stage versus what to avoid. So first I want to point out that right now I have nothing on my face. I am in just bathroom lighting. In fact, close my bathroom door. And I don't have any bright stage makeup. My face looks a little bit red, a little bit ruddy. Your kids probably, have better skin because they're little kids. But I want to show you the difference. So when I turn my ring light on here, this is what it's going to look like on the stage. My face is washed out, it's brighter, it's much more of an even tone, but you still get the splotchiness around various places. So here's kind of the difference between just natural lighting, what you see in your house, and lighting on the stage. Dramatic is okay because on the stage the light's so bright that it's going to wash everything out. It's going to make their skin look sallow or have different red splotches when they get warm or whatever. So the first thing you want to do is put on some kind of base coat of makeup to really even out their skin tone. I like to use a tinted moisturizer for kids because it is a little bit lighter weight. If you have foundation at home, just use the foundation as long as it's about their same skin tone. You want it to not be darker than their skin tone because it will make their face appear not connected to their body kind of. You want to make sure that through here is about the same color as the skin tone that their face is. It'll be a little bit different because you're going to use bronzer, but not entirely different. So what you want to do is you want to take it and you want to put it all over their face. So you're going to put it around, and I have a mirror over here to the side of my camera. So if I look over to the side, that's why. And I just can see a little bit better than on my phone camera. And you want to do it on the whole face. This is just kind of even out their skin tone, make it a little bit less pink or a little bit less pale depending on what skin tone your kiddo has, a little darker if they're darker skin tone, and use a little bit of a darker foundation. You want to make sure that you get it up into the hairline so that there's not this weird line right here. And I'm kind of getting, my ring light might be too close to my face. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And so I'm doing it back in, and you can kind of see that my skin tone is evening out a little bit just with this. You don't want it to be so thick that it looks pancaked on. You want it to be thin. This also preps your skin to hold makeup better. So when you're putting on the bronzer and the blush, those little kids run around and they eat things, they get crazy. Everything that's on their face, they're itching or they're, putting it on clothes or whatever. And you want to make sure that it stays put. So you can also use a finishing spray. I don't usually use a finishing spray personally just because I don't own one, but you can. So once that's all on, then you're going to want to take a light bronzer. You don't want it to be anything too dark. So you're not going to want to have these thick lines right here. You can contour if you know how to contour, but for just a basic parent, most people don't contour, their children. So I like to take this kind of mid-tone. You don't want it to be too shimmery. If it's too shimmery, the light catches it. So I use just a matte mid-tone color, and I do it all over the face. So this is going to kind of even out your skin tone and also give them a little bit more depth to their faces. You can kind of tell this is a pretty light color for my skin, but that makes it look more natural. And you can tell that it is a little bit darker than what my skin was doing a minute ago. Make sure that you get it all the way to the ears and underneath the chin here. You don't want that weird makeup line right here. So you want to make sure you blend everything down. And through the hairline, you blend everything up into the hairline. Sorry, my ring light kind of does weird things with the reflection as the camera focuses and unfocuses. Then you're going to want to take a blush. Before we do blush, I'm going to do eyes because I like to see how my eyes look before I put the blush on. You want to make sure that you're not using bright colors for eyes. You want to create depth and you want to create openness. So you're going to use browns, tans, creams. If you want to highlight underneath the eyebrows, you can use a little bit of a lighter color. I'm going to use, for my eyebrows, that's what I do first is eyebrows. I use these two colors. It's called Mocha Java and Garnet. This is from the skincare line or the makeup line called Senegence. You can use one of those pencils that Wet n Wild or another brand offers, whatever you're comfortable with. The most important part is that you get something that's a little bit darker than their current eyebrows, because little kids tend to have really light eyebrows. And I have really light eyebrows too. My eyebrows are pretty sparse. So you're going to want to create an arch with the eyebrows, and it's okay if it's dramatic, because again, you're going to be on stage and it's going to wash it out a little bit. And you want to extend it just past their eyes. I'm doing a pretty rough tutorial here, so my eyebrows might be a little bit on the dramatic side, a little bit dark. So kind of find what color you would wear for your kid. If they have really light brown hair, you're going to want to go with a brown. If they have blonde hair, they do make ones that are for blonde hair, but I honestly recommend that you do a little bit darker color because the blonde ones tend to pull pretty red and they don't show up on camera as well. And I'm sure you're going to want to take a million pictures, so you're going to want to see their eyebrows and their eyes, and you're going to want to see those huge smiles on their faces, and that's what we're teaching you to do here. So once your eyebrows are done, I just did a quick eyebrow here. You can see that it's a little bit lighter underneath your eyebrows. That's great. You want it to emphasize that. So next what I use this stuff called Candlelight. It's just kind of a light cream pinkish color. And I put this on the whole lid and underneath the brow. I use a brush to blend it. If you have a powder color, then obviously you're just going to use the brush it comes with, or you're going to use a makeup brush to blend it. But you want to make sure that you do it all the way up to the eyebrow and extend it a little bit out to the side here. This ring light is killing me. It's so bright. Okay. You want to do it a little bit out to the side. This is going to form just a base color for you of nice light. Oh, some of last night's makeup is still there. Nice light color. And so you're going to want to do it on both eyes. All the way up to the eyebrows, extending it a little bit, kind of to the end of the eyebrow. You don't want it to go too far in here because you don't want the eyes to look really wide. So I kind of like to follow this line right here down towards my nose and down the crease. That seems like a pretty accurate place to go. My brush is molting here. And then I take a lighter color. This one's called Sandstone Pearl. Again, you're just going to want to go with something. You can go with lightly shimmery. You don't want glittery. Glittery will just catch the light. Shimmery is okay, but the more matte you can do, the better. This is just going to go in the middle part of the eye, and it's pretty close in color to the Candlelight. It's a little bit paler. And then you're also going to want to do it on the inside creases of the eyes. Doing it here helps open up the eyes. So you're going to want to do it all through this area here, and then through this area here, right in that corner. So see how one corner is a little bit brighter than the other corner? You can kind of see how this has opened up my eye a little bit more. Then we're going to use the other side. And again, just nice, even in the middle. And you're going to go around the edges with a darker color anyway, so it's going to be fine. If you extend it a little too far, it's no big deal. And again, right in the middle here. Now you're going to take a darker color. You don't want black. You don't want like a dark gray. I always recommend doing a brown of some sort, like a mid-tone brown. I lost my brown. Here it is. Again, I use Mocha Java from this line, but it's just kind of a middle tone brown colored. It's not super dark, but it's dark enough that it's going to emphasize your eyes. And for this one, you want to take it into the creases. So this part of the eye. Now on little kids, they tend to have not very much space here. So you might want to use a smaller brush. I'm using a big brush because this is just what I use, but you might want to use a smaller brush and get it right in the eyes. And what you want to do is you want to create a line right here, just in the crease and on the outer corner. So it's kind of going to make a like swoop with a little, like kind of like an upside down Nike swoosh. And you're going to want to do it right here in the middle. Just a little bit. See how light this color is? It's dark enough that it kind of emphasizes the eye, but not so dark that it's overpowering. And then you want to make sure that you're getting it in this corner. And now with this type of, this is a liquid to powder, so you could use a couple layers of it. If you're using a powder only, you're going to want to kind of dust the brush off because sometimes the powder gets on and it's just like really intense. And it's always easier to build color and build layers than it is to take color off. I'm going to actually do another layer of this because I think it'll be a little bit more contour. See how this is just getting a little bit darker. And it's not super dramatic because your kids are 6 years old and 7 years old. They don't need super dramatic stage makeup. If you want to extend it a little bit higher, you can, but you don't want to make it go all the way to the eyebrow. You want to make sure that you have this nice light zone right here that's kind of opening the eye up. You want your eyes to look as big as possible, but you still want them to have depth because that's kind of part of what helps them pop. So now I'm going to do the other side. I'm sure some of my makeup artist friends would probably be absolutely horrified by the brush I chose to use for this, but it already had the color on it, so that's what I'm using. And again in the corner. Now you can tell that it's different than it looked. My eyes are darker in the creases, but definitely not finished because we're gonna add liner and we're gonna add mascara. If you want, you could do fake eyelashes at the Ballet Basics level. For 6-7-year-olds, you don't need to do eyelashes, but you do definitely wanna use mascara. And then we're going to use a black eyeliner. Now this eyeliner that I'm gonna use is a liquid eyeliner. I also recommend the eyeliners that have that are in a pencil because they go on pretty well, but they're also smudgeable a little bit more than liquid eyeliner. So they can come off easier, but it also helps if you make a mistake. Liquid eyeliner is not as forgiving and it tends to stay a little bit longer. So you're gonna wanna do it right along the eye. Let it dry. Doesn't need to be too thick, but you want it to be thick enough. And I extend it out to the side a little bit into more of a cat eye because again, you're extending the lines of your eyes. That's making your eyes look wider and bigger. I'm gonna do the other side. Again, extending it out to the side. Now, everyone has trouble with cat eyes. Everyone makes mistakes with cat eyes. I recommend that you take the eyeliner and practice. Even if you do no other makeup on your kiddos prior to the show, at least practice the eyeliner and mascara because they're gonna squinch their eyes closed. They're gonna not be able to keep them open to do the underneath liner, and the more you can practice, the better. Then you just use a little bit of micellar water or eye makeup remover and take it back off. The other important part is the underneath the eye. Since we're opening up our eyes, we don't want to do it, you can do it right here because that's going to emphasize the white of your eyes, but to open up your eyes, you actually want it more underneath the eyelash line, which is a little bit harder to achieve with a liquid liner. Even I blink a bunch. And then again, you want to connect it to this line on the side to open the eye up. Now, if you want to get really fancy, take a white eyeliner pencil and line right here with the white. Your kids are gonna hate it though, because they instinctively blink and they don't want that that feeling against their eyelid because they're not used to putting makeup on. Those of us who wear makeup every day, we're more used to it. But you can tell between my two eyes which eye looks more open and which one looks a little bit less. This is reducing the bags under my eyes because I'm not 6 years old. And then we do the other side as well. Just right under the lash line, right at the lash line. Ooh, this has a tingle. It is not pleasant to my eyes necessarily. There you go. And then again, extend it all the way out so that your eye's nice and open. Now our eyes are pretty open, but wait until you see what mascara does. I use a mascara. You can use different kinds of mascara. I tend to use mascaras that are volumizing and lengthening because I want my eyes to look open and full. I don't have super thick eyelashes. A lot of little kids have really great eyelashes that I'm super jealous of. And so they will just need a basic mascara. This is a Senegence mascara that has a builder. It's called what is it called? Undertone or Undersense, that's what it's called. But you can use any brand you want. Even like Wet n Wild has a couple brands that are, a couple volumizing ones that are fine. That's what I use for my son. And then again, you want black mascara. Black eyeliner, black mascara, brown eye makeup. And you can tell which of my eyes has the mascara on it because my eyelashes are much fuller looking and much more open looking on the eye with the mascara. It's much more dramatic. Now, if you wanted to use fake eyelashes, they come with glue and you're gonna glue them on. They do make ones that have an adhesive strip on them. They don't tend to stay as well and they're hard to put on wiggly kids, but you are welcome to try if that's what you wanna do. We don't require it at our studio. And you're gonna wanna also put mascara on the underneath lashes because again, we're opening those eyes up. All right, so the eyes are done, the eyebrows are done. Now we just go to lips and cheeks. For cheeks, I recommend a nice bright blush. You don't want it to be candy apple red on just the center of the cheek. You know, sometimes you see performances where the little girls have these little blush balls right here. We don't want that. We don't need a blush ball. They're not playing dolls. So you're gonna want to take it and swoop it up towards the top of their hairline here. And this looks actually a lot more dramatic under the ring light in the phone than it does in my mirror, just so you know. But it's giving you depth of face. Now we're gonna go straight on to the lipstick. Now this is the lipstick that I recommend. I love this stuff, but it's also because I sell it and I believe in it. It's a long-lasting lip wear. I put on this color on my hand on Wednesday. Today's Friday, so 2 days ago I put this on. Will this come off my hand? Yes. Has part of it come off my hand? Yes. Can you remove this from your kid's lips that night? Of course. The only reason it's still on here is because I have not tried to remove it. I've washed my hands, I've cooked meals, obviously I've showered, and it's still there. This color that I'm using is blue-red. I have pretty fair skin, so this color works really well for me. You're gonna wanna apply it and let it dry. So it's gonna take a couple minutes. It's really bright. and then let it dry. This one bonds to your lips. You don't smash it around. You just let it dry. You do 3 layers and then you gloss it and it stays 4 to 18 hours, depending on how long you want it on. It's a little more dry. All right, so now we're gonna do layer 2, and as you can see, the color builds with each layer. Oh. All right, now we let layer 2 dry. You could use a blow dryer if you really want to. Now the idea of this is that you want bright lips because you want their smiles to be seen and you want their teeth to look really white. And some of them have these cute little missing teeth smiles and they're just great. They're so cute. All right, that's pretty dry. Now we're gonna do layer 3. After you get your 3 layers, you're gonna put a gloss on. I forgot my gloss over here. Let's see if I can find it. Aha. And you want it to be really dry. It's gonna feel sticky and not great until you put the gloss on. The gloss is a moisturizing gloss and it helps set the lipstick so that the lipstick stays. This stuff is amazing because it stays really well. All right, now going on stage, they don't have to have the super glossy, wet looking lips. This system requires gloss because it's what sets the color. If you get MAC or Wet n Wild or whatever other color that you want, you don't have to have a gloss on. They don't have to have shiny lips. It doesn't matter. This lipstick is actually going to become matte in about 10 minutes. The gloss soaks through it as it helps it molecularly bond to your lips. Now here's the amazing part. You see how bright this is. Let me try to put it on my teeth. Not on my teeth. Now here's the back of my hand. There's nothing on the back of my hand, right? It stays on your lips. It's not gonna get on costumes. It's not gonna get on in their hair. It's not gonna get on their teeth. They can eat, they can drink, whatever, it's gonna stay on their lips. This stuff is a miracle worker. Definitely using it for my son for his performance. So we've done our whole face. Now we're ready for the stage. It's a little bit dramatic, but not overly dramatic. I hope you'll join me to see the hair tutorial on the flip side. Thanks.